right, one more time.
I'm Chris Greta, and I'm a Jaded ad guy. We bought this place in '97. It was the ad ranch for 12 years. In fact, out front, if you go out front, you'll see a 7-foot-tall spur that's our mailbox. So I could tell my clients to make a right at the spur in the road. It's a very peaceful, quiet place to hang out and work. You know, we'd come into work in the morning. If I could see the fish jumping in the cove down there, we'd go fishing for a couple hours. I used to work for an agency in Newport Beach, and the guy that ran it was crazy as hell. But he had a great saying that just has stuck in my mind ever since. He says, your clients are competing against a whole room full of other people. You know, imagine a great big conference center full of 5,000 people all trying to sell something, and a prospect walks in and everybody starts screaming at the top of your lungs. It's just this cacophony of noise. You need to be the guy that gets up on the table and takes off your clothes. And that's, while that vision's probably disturbing, the point is, make a different noise. Look at what everybody else is doing and don't do that, because if it's working for them, it's not going to work for you. So when you look at, you know, the fact you're going to be developing a new campaign for a client, you've got to, number one, be able to react quickly. If it's not working, you've got to have something in your back pocket to move to quickly. But also, I mean, there are unintended consequences. I was working for a startup. My job was go into a city and meet with the Chamber of Commerce, the mayor's office, and all these people to try and figure out how to weave this new product into the local business culture. And I thought, I had this great idea. I'm going to do a big double-decker bus. I'm going to wrap it with Townie. And the first month we're in town, we'll hire a bus driver to take the Girl Scouts camping and take the Bridge Club to a show. I mean, just if any group needed transportation, they could take the Townie bus for free. And I found a great double-decker Old English bus with open top on it. I could wrap it up, and for 20 grand, I could get out with this wrapped bus and just hire somebody to drive it. And I'm walking around Springfield, and I'm looking up at the traffic lights. And I'm thinking, that doesn't look very high. And then I called and found out if I was driving this bus around certain parts of town, I would decapitate everybody on the second floor. So I had to call the CEO and said, well, no, we got to pull the plug on this. Talk about hard lessons you learn in advertising, especially when you're doing, when you're taking risks, when you're exploring areas and developing concepts that nobody else in that industry has done for clients. Years ago, I saw a story by James May, one of the guys from Top Gear, and it was his idea and his concept that the Citroen DS was the greatest car anybody had ever built. Let's go for a ride. André Citroen, the president of the company in the 40s, decided he wanted to build the world's greatest car, and he could care less what anybody else has ever done. So it took them 15 years to engineer this thing, and it held the world record for most cars sold on the opening day up until Tesla came along.
And I bought this because I admired the CEO's thinking about not just playing it safe, do something interesting, take a risk.
I'm always trying to get my clients to be brave and take a risk, because otherwise you just throw a lot of money at it to mediocre effect.